Greetings, dear viewers. We are continuing our series of international discussions after the forum, which took place on May 7th. We are people we want to live. You know, lately I've been thinking a lot about what is going on in the world, and I believe that each of us understands and sees all those problems we are facing right now. And basically, we are all experiencing all this crisis. Some of us less, some of us more. But everyday life is getting harder and harder for so many people. In these international discussions, people from all over the world are joining us and participating because they are not indifferent to what is going on in our society. These people understand that responsibility lies with us, that we, ordinary people, decide what our future is going to look like. And what is most important, we are talking about the real solution, and that solution is very simple. It's a creative society. I would like to introduce my co-host for today, Marek.
Thank you very much, Monica. It's a pleasure to be here, and today we are going to talk about the paradoxes of our consumer format, where very few people in the world don't know what to do with their wealth. And on the other hand, there are billions of people around the world who are just struggling to survive in their daily life, you know. And the best way to understand what is going on in the world is to talk to people on site, to talk to people who are personally involved in these situations, talk to people who try and help locally other people who are struggling, you know. And today we've got a very special guest, Dorothy Akende from Nigeria. Dorothy is the executive director of the House of Hilkiah Foundation, women's and girls' rights advocate, peace builder, and community developer. Welcome, Dorothy.
Thank you very much, Creative and Society, for having me.
Great. So, you know, Dorothy, I've been looking onto the website of your non-profit organization, and I found there very interesting, let's say, goals that you are streaming for unity. You are trying to approach everyone as equal partner, and you are also open to cooperation with other people. And these are exactly, I would say, the aspects of creative society where the human life has got the highest value, you know. And we also know that you have been watching the conference, Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live. And so we would like to start with a question, what impressed you the most watching the conference?
All right. Thank you very much, Creative Society, for the opportunity to be on this global conference. Okay, so I've been following up on the other guests who have been speaking about the crisis in the world. And I discovered that while we have different problems all around the world, we are all fighting towards one solution, which is what we need to be united together. So I listened to all the speakers who spoke from different countries, and I discovered they were all speaking one language, irrespective of the environmental crisis, irrespective of the insecurity, irrespective of the earthquake that is going on. They are all speaking one language, and which one of the reasons, that is one of the things that got me thinking that, like, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what color you are, we all have the same problem that is affecting us wherever we are. And so we are speaking one voice.
Yes, Dorothy, that's right. That we are all people, and the whole situation affects us all, and it concerns us all. And in the forum, we were talking about the problems that are going on everywhere, all around the globe in general. And could you please share with us what are the problems caused by consumer format of society in your country, in Nigeria, please?
A country that does not have peace, you know that there's not going to be development. There's not going to be, people are not going to be living in peace. People are not going to be able to go to school and all that. So it centers around on what? Security, which is what we are experiencing here in Nigeria. And from what I've also listened to the other speakers, I've discovered that every problem we have around the world is centered around somebody trying to dominate. I want to force who I am on you. That is, I have the power, so I want to make you. I want to subject you to what I want you to be, and that is what we are experiencing here. You can imagine here right now in Nigeria, you can't even travel on the road because you are being scared. They're going to kidnap you, and they're going to kidnap you. And when they kidnap you, it's not just the kidnapping is a problem. There's a possibility, 50 chance that they're going to kill you. Then as a lady, they are going to rape you. That is what we experience here right now. So there's no place. Even the funny thing is that even you want to fly, even the airports are not even safe because they are even attacking the airports. So you can imagine, you can't go by train, you can't go by road, and you can't go by air. So it's a problem that we are, in fact, it's becoming so much that people cannot go about their businesses. You know, you can't, if you're traveling, you are like, oh my God, am I going to go through this journey? You can't, any journey you're making up to like 5 hours, 6, 7 hours, there is a possibility that they're going to be kidnapped on the way. If you're not kidnapped on the way, wherever town you are going into, people are already on like, okay, who are the strangers coming into our town that we can attack them, we can collect money. And the scary part of it is that when they come to you, when you don't have money to give them for your release, for them to release you, they're going to kill you. So it's so horrible. Then the COVID made it worse because the government didn't do anything to help the citizens. You understand? So people rather are now going to steal from their neighbors. So everybody right now, when you sleep at home, you are like, I can't sleep deep because somebody may break into my house. And there's a possibility that the person can kill you. So everybody is like, okay, I have to hold a weapon. Since guns are not allowed, you can't hold a gun. You're not licensed to hold a gun. You have to hold a weapon. You have to hold a cutlass. You have to hold anything that whoever breaks into your house, you use it to defend yourself. And the funny thing is that if there's a particular set of people here in Nigeria that if you defend yourself and you kill, there's a possibility that you are going to jail for defending yourself. So that is what we are experiencing here right now in Nigeria. And the election is by the corner. Election is next year. So it's getting worse by the day. Imagine people are worshiping in church. They're killing people. Last 2 weeks, a female suicide bomber wore the bomb and she was going to mosques to kill people. She was intercepted and the guy who tried to not allow her into the mosque blew up with her. So that is what we are facing here right now in Nigeria. And it's everywhere. Nobody is resting. Interesting.
It seems that no one is safe, right?
Yes, no one is safe. Mm-hmm. Not time of the day you are not safe. You just have to be security conscious. Like if you're at home, you have to make sure your doors are locked. You have to, if somebody comes, you have to talk to the person over the window because it could be a child. The child is holding a weapon, holding a gun. So nobody is safe. Everybody is a suspect until proven innocence.
So, and why do you think this is happening?
Like I said, it's the issue of dominance. Like I have the power, so I can come to your place and take over it. So I think that is a major problem we have. Everybody, all the crises we are having in this world has to do with dominance. Like I have the power, I can terrorize you, I can take your land. You understand? So it's the issue of I don't know whether it's power because it's not money. Because these people who do these things, they are so rich, they don't even need your money. What they are looking for is power, so that they can dominate you and take over your place and make you be like a slave to them. That is just what it is. Nothing else. Or maybe because then, like what we are experiencing here is in the case of a religion, you don't have the same belief with me. So you are an infidel. And so if I come to the place where you are right now, I have the right, because my religion says so, I have the right to come and take over your land. I have the right because I have the power to do that. So that is what we are experiencing here right now.
Interesting. And if you could compare, the group of people that are causing these issues and the group of people who are suffering, what would be the ratio? How many people cause this and how many people are suffering?
Okay, let's say in Nigeria we are about 200 million. This group of people who are causing this are not up to 1 million. So you just do the math. That is the ratio of what we are going through. These people who are causing this problem, they are not up to 1 million. Over 200 million people in the country. So you see how it is.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where I'm aiming, when the Creative Society project started in 2019, there was a major conference that was based on millions of interviews all around the world. And the volunteers have been asking people, in what world would you like to live in? And 99% of people responded that they would like to live in a world where there is peace, where they can just freely leave their children, go to the streets without having fear that something bad going to happen,
Yes.
And so if 99% of people want to live in it, why are we not living in this, And during the conference, it was concluded that it is due to the current consumer format of society, in which we are giving power to few representatives. We are delegating our power to the politicians,
Yes.
And so that's why we, in order to remove all of these issues, we need to stop delegating our power and let the society self-govern itself.
Yes.
So this is the outcome, Would you agree in this?
Absolutely, I do. Because imagine, like, I'm going to even use my country because it's what is happening right now. Ever since we have been doing election, they tell you that your vote does not matter. Your vote does not matter. That is what those group of people, that 1% are telling us. Imagine they're telling you the 99% that your vote does not matter. So when it now comes during election, instead of you to vote, you say, hey, my vote does not matter. Where should I go? Then they now use that, and in fact, they are the one that decide who rule over you. So I so agree with that statement, that conclusion, because we are the one, and because it's something like before I used to think that it's not going to be possible in Nigeria, but we with the youth, we did it in 2020 when we protested that the police brutality. We came together, despite all the power they had. We came together. We said, no, this has to stop. So the government, the top people who are controlling things tried to, they tried to use religion, they tried to use tribe, they tried to use ethnicity. It didn't work. Because the youth said, no, we are united together. And they became afraid. Because these are the same youth they are using for their own word, political thuggery, they're using for their own political gains and all that. And do you know what they now did? They came and just opened fire on the youth. And that was what sparked everything. So what am I getting at? It means that we have the power if we come together to stop them, if we want to.
Exactly. We have the power. We people have the power.
Yes.
Monica, would you like to also add something or ask something?
Yes, I would like to add that exactly only we people can change the whole society, and that we can do it. Humanity doesn't need revolution, we need evolution. And that's so true, because we can change whole the format of society only by peaceful means and by creating the new format of society, which guarantees happiness and all these dignitive conditions for all humanity. And once you understand that this is really in our hands, then you cannot just sit and doing nothing.
Yes.
Exactly. And therefore, like we are doing this, we're informing people that, hey, friends, we have this unique chance to create a completely different world where each of us will live in such a beautiful world. And that every day when you will go to sleep, you will be like, wow, I don't have to care about anything because I know that tomorrow I will wake up and I will have everything. I will have house. Exactly. And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. You are very, very correct. And in fact, the last time I was going through the Instagram of Creative Society, and I saw some interesting things. I was like, oh, my organization is going to do that. We are going to start promoting Creative Society in Nigeria. We're going to be using social media to do that. We want a better place because right now, because of the election, people are now coming out. We are telling people that your vote matters. You can vote these people out. You don't want these people to rule us anymore. And now the people are now coming out that want to vote, want to get a voter's card, want to register for it. And now they are not afraid because now the magnitude, now people are now beginning to get wise. So which means we can do it. And I told my people that, well, once I'm done with this recording, we're going to start promoting Creative Society in Nigeria. This is the kind of society we want. It doesn't matter where you are because we have the same blood. It's just the same colors, that different colors that differentiate me, you and I. That is just it.
That is absolutely right, and in Creative Society, all people are equal, regardless of nationality, regardless of skin color, regardless of social status. All people are equal. There's no any human whose life would be more valuable than other humans.
Absolutely, because you can't even create life.
Exactly. Also, one other actually aspect that just came to my mind, in regards to what you have been mentioning about all of these dangerous situations and robberies, is that many people commit a crime because they have got simply nothing to eat.
Yeah.
And this is also because in consumer format of society, we are being kept in poverty. We are being kept in a, let's say, position where we are dependent on the monthly income. And if we have no job, we have no roof, we lose our house, we lose the possibility to buy, food and stuff like that. We become homeless and our life is at stake. And this is what I wanted to touch upon in Creative Society, and maybe one step back. On one hand, there is poverty, and stuff. And on the other hand, we've got all of these wonderful technologies that could provide everyone with enough water, with enough food, with basically housing and all kinds of stuff like this. So we've got all of these technologies such as, vertical farming. And this vertical farming can produce 300 times more food in up to 30 yields a year. They consume 95% less water and need 80% less soil, And what is very important is that they don't depend on weather or location, and they require minimum logistics. They can be put anywhere. They can be put in the cities, on the roof of the houses. They can be put in each neighborhood. But why are they not used? It's because we are living in consumer format of society and it's not profitable, But, and you have mentioned that there are some people who do not know what to do with their wealth. And then there are other people who can't afford to buy basic food, And in Creative Society, this would all be granted to all people, So this is about food. Then if we move on, I know that in some parts of Africa, there is also a problem, and not only in Africa. I've read an article that, they are starting to limit the supplies of drinking water, even in Europe, in Italy, in Hungary, just because there are huge droughts. And on the other hand, we've got these wonderful technologies that can produce water out of air, and these technologies are patented. And I've actually also read an article that now there is a company that delivers a solution that can extract water out of air with humidity less than 10%. That means that these devices could be put even in the desert areas and could supply drinking water to everyone, And another important thing is that we will be forced to use these devices because, as many scientists say, we are, with the current technologies we have in the consumer format of society, we are not able to fully recycle drinking water, So all of these technologies are available. Maybe another technology that I would like to mention is the 3D printing of houses and folding houses. These can be built within days, and they could provide a lot more qualitative and sustainable living conditions than the shelters that the people have, in the houses today. That could increase the quality of living.
Yes.
In order to do this, we need to support creative society. We need to move away from consumer format of society. So before we move on, I'm not sure whether you would like to comment on these technologies before we move on to the next video topic.
What I can just say is that when are you bringing it to Nigeria? It's what I'm going to ask, because as we speak right now, because of the crisis, we have 1.5 million people living in the IDP camps. And when I say living in the camp, it's not as if they're living in imagine somebody is using sack to cover their head, their children. So now we are in rainy season. So you know that it's going to be very, very worse. So this is amazing. Because what we are doing right now, this issue of people, the farmers ahead that crisis, whereby farmers they can't farm, because whenever they farm, the herders bring their cows to eat their crops. And now there's food shortage right now in the country because of land. Because the cows don't even know the difference between grass and crop. So imagine this kind of technology coming. I can easily do that in my house. I don't need to go to the farm, because even when you farm on the farmland, you have hoodlums coming to come and steal. They will steal your farm crops to eat. So imagine this kind of technology comes in, then you can at least stay in the comfort of your home and do all this. And everybody have, there's food to eat. Then there's, at least you have a good standard of accommodation for yourself. You understand? So when are you coming to Nigeria is what I'm asking right now.
Yeah, wonderful. And to underline it, I would like to show another video that provides us more information about the possibilities of housing in creative society.
In our civilized world, hundreds of millions of people are homeless. People live on the streets like stray dogs. And billions of people in the world survive in terrible conditions. This number is increased by dozens of millions of refugees every year. As climatic disasters escalate, the number of people left homeless will grow rapidly. The afflicted people are forgotten by everybody. They continue to live without assistance in harsh, inhumane conditions, months and even years after natural disasters. And how does that apply to me, you might ask? Directly. In cruel conditions of the consumerist format and the growing climate crisis, you have only two choices. Either you stay on the street, or those left homeless come into your home. Why are we allowing this to happen if we have modern technology? After all, there are already solutions in place that can expeditiously provide people with housing. At the beginning of the epidemic in Wuhan, China was able to build a hospital having 1,000 beds in just 10 days, using modular construction technology. A few days later, the building of the second hospital was finished. The construction process could be watched live on TV. Earlier, back in the year 2003, a similar hospital for the treatment of SARS was built in Beijing within only 7 days. In India, a building record was broken in 2012 for a seismically stable 10-story building within 48 hours. And in the year 2021, in China, a 10-story house was erected within only 28 hours and 45 minutes. Small, self-contained modular units had been prefabricated at the factory. After the basic structure was assembled, the specialists installed water and electricity in the building. The high-rise building was finished, fully furnished. In the portfolio of Chinese developers, there is experience of building a 30-story, 5-star hotel within 15 days and a 57-story skyscraper within 19 days. It's been 4 years now that there's a technology for the production of folding houses. The assembly line produces folding structures of about 35 square meters, and they take only 48 minutes to assemble. Not hours, minutes. The owner only needs to bring a sofa in because plumbing, kitchen furniture, and appliances are already included in the package. The houses are fireproof, frostproof, waterproof, and resistant to hurricane-strength winds. 3D printing technology allows, in just 1 to 2 days, to build houses of different sizes and a number of stories. The houses are affordable and take only a few weeks to be ready for accommodation. In order to print walls, a 3D printer can use the building materials of the area in which it operates. Those include concrete mix, sand, stone, and even volcanic ash. The houses are earthquake resistant. Back in the year 2014, a Chinese company presented houses built with the help of 3D printing technology at a cost of just a little over 3,000 pounds sterling. A year later, it improved the technology and printed a 5-story house. Such technology could provide housing for all people while preserving their lives and health. But in a consumer society, the first question is not how to save your life, but how to make money off that. In the consumerist format of society, you are left alone with your problems. In fact, nobody cares about you. It's time to change from the consumer society to the creative one. In the creative society, the life of each person is important. Human life is its base and foundation. That is why technology is used for the sake of life, but not for the sake of profit. And technology is aimed exclusively at improving the quality of human life. As you can see, the technologies that can provide every person with a home already exist, but the conditions of the consumerist format do not allow their implementation. So, the only thing that can be done is to change the format to a creative one, because the creative society guarantees security for each person and therefore provides people with quality and comfortable housing. Tell everyone about this, and then we will quickly build the creative society.
Yes, that was a very good video. And actually, what a paradox that there are so many people out there, millions of people who do not have houses. They live in tents or they live and sleep in the streets. And this number of people is rising rapidly. And there are more and more refugees, even though right now we've seen that there are already technologies that could solve this problem very easily. So then where is the problem? Again, the problem is in the format of the society. This format we are living in right now, the consumer one, because conditions of the consumer format do not allow implementation of these technologies. Yeah. And very often these technologies are used against people. But in creative society, all technologies will serve to whole humanity. They will belong to whole humanity because they should be beneficial. They should bring benefits to every person on earth. Yes. And all these technologies will be used for the sake of life for every person, not for the sake of profit as it is right now. And the amazing thing is that creative society is really the only way that guarantees the safety for every person and is so beneficial for everyone. I mean, I would like to emphasize this as it's really beneficial for every person, no matter what you are, no matter who you are, no matter what you do. Creative society is so beneficial for you. And Dorothy, I would like to ask you, what do you think? What kind of benefits that we mentioned today will people in Nigeria appreciate the most?
Okay. A creative society. We are able to have. Imagine we having an affordable housing. People can afford to have housing. It could be one of the things that will benefit us very well, because just like we're talking about the system, changing the system, we need to change the system, because somebody here, you're having 50 houses and people cannot afford to pay for house, because what, as they build, they make it very expensive. So it's just the rich that can purchase it. So imagine having this kind of a technology in Nigeria, so that people can have because once you have affordable houses, at least you can be able to go about your business, you can be able to work, you'll be able to farm and do anything, and you know that you're coming back, you have a roof over your head. So which is very, very important.
Yes, it will be so beneficial for everyone. I mean, you don't have to care for anything, and you know that you have a guarantee of tomorrow, that you will be saved. That's the most important thing, and that you don't have to care for everything, how to pay all those bills and this, because right now this format is against people, but creative society is for people. It's the format where human life is the highest value. And third, you were also talking about unification of people, that it is really important for people to unite. And why do you think, why is it so important? Why this unification of people is so important for all of us?
Okay, because it brings about development. If we unite together, we can develop as a people. You understand? You can know so much about, like, I know that I can come over to your culture and learn about it because we are united. But whereby there's no unity, there's no way I'm going to come to your country, because I know that if I come to your country, I'm going to be killed, either because of my skin color or because I don't have the right people to come into your country. So we being united is very, very important, because it will bring about development, which is what creative society is all about.
Yes, indeed. And now there may be a major question rising amongst our viewers. Okay, there are technologies, but they have got their price. So how can creative society ensure that these technologies we will be able to use and we will be able to build a house for everyone, you know? And this is the exact point that we have been talking about, the unification, about uniting of people. Today, imagine how the system works. Every 4 years, you know, there are a couple of political parties who basically come together and finance a campaign, smile at you from billboards, try to promise you everything, and then people are divided into the, into the parties, and they give their voice to someone, you know, and that's where it ends. After the day, they have given their vote. They have given their vote to them. Then they have got whatsoever no overview, no power to change anything. So they are dependent on the few people to whom they have delegated the power. You know.
Yes.
Why do we need to unite? We need to unite at least 50% in each country. For example, in Nigeria. If we united 50% in each country, then we could select a candidate that would not be imposed to us from someone who is just taking this as another business, but who would really basically be in this position of a manager. So the power in creative society will stick with us people. We people will be approving all of the legislation. We people will be deciding how the public funds will be spent. So instead, for example, spending it on weapons, instead of spending it on various projects that only bring profits to few, if the people in the country make a decision that these funds will be used for building all of this housing with these new technologies, and you have heard that you could build 35 square meters for £3,000, and this could be made maybe even cheaper. So this really becomes a reality for all of the people. Yeah. But in order to get there, we need to inform everyone. And now my question, this is very important, Dorothy. How would you propose to inform everyone about creative society? How would you personally inform everyone in Nigeria to get known about creative society, to get know about this wonderful opportunity?
All right, thank you very much. So, like I said earlier on, I saw something on Instagram on the Creative Society page, and I was like, okay, this is really good, which means I can get my team together and we can tell people about Creative Society, because this is a society we want. We want whereby everybody can have access to jobs. Everybody can have access to maybe owning a house, without somebody deciding for you, but we're deciding for ourselves. You understand? Which is what we're trying to do against the next year election. So it's even a good time for us to even go out there and tell people that, okay, Creative Society is here, and this is what we are doing. We want to have a life whereby every life matters. We want to live. We want to have jobs. We want to be able to feed. We want to be able to own a house. You understand? And which is even a great time, because we are in the era of the elections, and everybody's like, please, we want you to come out and vote. So now we will go out there. In fact, I've already started thinking of how we're going to do it. We're going to go out with my team. We're going to educate the people out there while they are going about trying to register for their voters card. We're also going there with messages about Creative Society, that this is not the kind of life we want to live, and this is what Creative Society is all about. And so this is how we're going to do it on social media. We're going to go on maybe March Pass, and then maybe have it on our T-shirt. So whenever we go, people are like, what is it all about? And then we get to tell them, this is the kind of we want to live. This is the kind of life we want for ourselves. We want to have a society where I'm free to move about. I don't have to sleep with any weapon beside me and all that. So that is how we're going to go about it.
Yes, exactly. And in order to achieve that, we have to inform people. Right now, we have to inform whole humanity and tell every person that, guys, there is this unique chance to build such a completely different world. Because for the past few thousand years, there wasn't this chance. But right now we have this unique, wonderful chance, and it is all in our hands, and whether we take it or not. And therefore it is so important to spread the information about Creative Society and to let people know, to join us, to come together and together create and build Creative Society, because it's the only way out. It's the only way out how to change all of this, and it's the only way out of all these crises and problems we are facing right now.
Yes.
And Dorothy, my last question is, imagine that you have unlimited resources and funds. What would be the first thing that you would change in the society?
The first thing I would change is let me put it this way. I have a problem with somebody trying to take right over me. So that is the first thing I'm going to take. I want to take that power away from you so that you don't get right over me. Don't tell me that you're powerful because you have I don't want you to have that privilege over me, which is one of the biggest challenges we have, not just in Nigeria, all over the world. The power to dominate, the power to take over is the first thing I'm going to do.
Yeah, and this is exactly what actually the second stage of building creative society provides. That is, once there is a candidate who takes on responsibility for implementing 8 foundations into constitution of the country and creating the electoral platform, this basically means that the power will stay in people's hands.
Yes.
And this is exactly the break-even point where where all starts to change. That we people decide about this. But as said, in order to do this, we still have a way to go, in which we need to inform everyone. Because only if people are informed, then they can make a conscious decision to support. And we also need to understand that the point is that we have been raised in a system where we have been told or imposed that we cannot change anything, that we are too small, and we need to leave it up to the ones at the top. And this is not the truth.
Exactly. Yes.
Would you agree? We need to change this.
110. I agree with you 110%. Because they will tell you that you don't have the power, you can't do anything. And I told them that no, you can. Because there was a scenario 2 weeks ago with the people who felt that they had money. Imagine somebody saying he's putting aside 100 billion for election. Meanwhile, the people in your community can't even see food to eat. So I know when they now went for the primaries, these people that had this money couldn't even influence anything because they did direct voting, and they now chose somebody else that was so different, that is the least person. And they couldn't believe it because they felt they had the money, they had the power. So we now let them know that you see what your unity can do, because people are united now. You didn't allow the money to influence you. You've gone to pick somebody else. So I agree with you 110%.
Yeah, indeed. And only if we people start to take the active position and unite, only in this way we can change something. And creative society is a platform that unites all people around the world, because if we want to change the format of society, this needs to be done globally. It cannot succeed just within one country, and this is exactly the advantage of creative society. And also, creative society just outlines the basic foundations, such as value of human life, such as security, and freedom of information, etc. But how this is going to be organized and implemented, this depends on us people, on you people, for example, in your case, in Nigeria.
Yes.
That means that we need to start talking. We need to start talking, because in each country there are experts who know exactly how to arrange legislation, how to arrange finance, how to arrange economics, so that it respects the value of human life. Absolutely. It's just that these people need to come together and come up with a solution, so that this solution can be approved by all people within a country, And this is exactly the purpose also of these international discussions, to bring people together. Now you are a guest from Nigeria, but you can invite other people. And herewith we would like to invite also you, dear viewers, if you have got interesting thoughts, or ideas how to implement creative society. If you have been inspired, please don't hesitate. Please reach out to us. You can use, for example, the email info@creativesociety.com, because the issues that we have got right now in our society, this will not be solved by someone else. It can only be solved by our common effort. So before we finish today's international discussion, maybe I would like to ask you, Dorothy, if there's anything you would like to say to our viewers, some last message.
Okay. So what I have to say is that we have the power to make the change we want to. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who you are. We have the same blood flowing in us. So whatever happens out there affects you. So the both of us, that is you and I, we have to unite together. It doesn't matter what religion, what you believe in, we want to live. We want to have that creative society. And so we need to join together to do that. And it's the collective effort of the both of us. Nobody else. We can achieve the creative society we want.
Yes, Dorothy, thank you so much. Exactly. We can build creative society only together. And as you said, it is all in our hands. We have this power because we are people. We want to live, and we want to live like humans because we are humans, and we should live like humans. And right now it is our task whether we can build such a world or not, whether we can do it or not. But we can, because we want to live like that. And
Yes.
we just have to inform people. That's the first stage. Thank you so much, Dorothy. Thank you so much, Marek. Dorothy, I would also like to thank you for your openness about being so open about all those problems that are happening in your country, that you understand the importance of change and unification of people. It's so important that you are such an active woman, and your contribution is so important. I would like to thank you so much for participating in today's discussion. It was a pleasure hearing from you. And also I would like to thank our viewers. Thank you so much for watching us today, and see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.